Welcome back to the show, ladies. Today's episode is on 7 known signs that you are dating a narcissist. And the reason why I have been diving deeper into narcissism on the podcast recently is because I am realizing that this is something that so many women are experiencing, but they have yet to realize that they are with a narcissist because they're so confused. They think that they are the problem. And if you're that confused, you're most likely dating a narcissist. So let's just go ahead and dive into the number one way to know that you are dating a narcissist is that they always have an unpredictable mood. One day they can be completely fine, love bombing you. You feel like you're living your best life. They have become the man you've been waiting for them to become. And then the next day things just seem off. And one thing I have realized is that if you're ever in an environment, especially living in an environment to where something is off, it's probably not meant for you. Because what I have realized is that God will allow these types of people to hurt you so much, to hurt you over and over again, until you literally get to a point to where you cannot take it anymore and you have to walk away. I believe that God does stuff like this if things are not meant for us. So, number one, they have an unpredictable mood. You never know what type of mood they're going to freaking be in. Number two is they have absolutely no empathy. They can't feel anything. And the reason why, this is wild, the reason why they can't feel anything is because at a very young age, whenever they started to experience that abuse and trauma, the front part of their brain continued to work. However, the part, I believe it's like in the back part of their brain that feels emotions stopped working. It basically quit maturing. Therefore, they cannot feel things. That's why they can be completely unfazed whenever somebody gives them a verbal warning, like a boss, or they're completely unfazed whenever you're lying next to them in bed, bawling your eyes out, and they fall peacefully asleep. So, yeah, number two, no empathy. And this is one of the worst pains ever because you can't physically see the scars and the marks and the wounds on the outside, but deep within you seriously feel like the best way to describe it is that it feels like somebody's taking your heart, like an elephant is stomping your heart whenever you're dealing with these types of people because they not only destroy you, they drain the life out of you and they will slowly kill you because it's like they're like poison to your soul. Number three is confusion. If you are to a point in your relationship to where their mood, their behavior is absolutely confusing, I heard somebody tell me one time, somebody told me one time that if their behavior is confusing to you, it's toxic. And this can be like in relationships, it can be in friendships. If it's very confusing to where one day you don't know what to expect and the next day it seems like you're in love again or that you're friends with the person again and their moods are always back and forth, not only do they have an unpredictable mood, but they're also very, very confusing to where it confuses you so much to where you begin to ask yourself and question yourself, am I the narcissist? Maybe I'm the problem. And one thing that I have realized, ladies, is that if you get to that point to where you feel like you're not enough and you begin to realize, oh my gosh, like, why does this keep happening with in every single relationship that I'm in? Even though it feels like you're not enough, one thing I have realized is that you'll never be enough if you're in the wrong place. Just like a plant. If you have a plant in a room and it's not doing well, it's dying, you're not just going to look at the plant and blame the plant. You're going to move it into a different environment. And sometimes that's what I need you to realize because sometimes that's what all that you have to do is walk out the door, walk up the hall into a completely new environment in order to be able to thrive after abuse and trauma. I know you may feel like you're not enough in the current environment that you're in, and you will always feel that way if you're with the wrong person. You will always feel like you're not enough if you're with the wrong person. You will always feel like you're not enough if you're in the wrong environment. You will always feel like things are off if you're in the wrong place. And all you have to do is let go, walk up the hall, and open up a completely different door in order to be able to thrive after abuse and trauma. And you will not be able to thrive with this type of person because, like I said, they will drain you, they will poison you, they will slowly kill you. They will bring you to a point in your life to where you don't even know who you are because they're that controlling, which we'll get to that on number 4. They are super controlling. You cannot do anything right because it has to be their way. They're always trying to correct you. when you do the dishes, whenever you drink water, whenever you're taking a shower, you're even doing that wrong. Number 5 is they blame you and they never take accountability. It's never their fault. Regardless of what happens, they always turn it back around on you, even if you're trying to confront them about their behavior. For example, women will confront you about things that bother them, not because they're trying to nag, not because they're trying to argue, but because they want to fix things. They want to make things work with you. That's why they try and work things out with you and confront you about things that bother them, because they want you to know, because they don't want you to keep hurting them over and over again. Because one of the worst things you can do to someone is listen to all the pain, trauma, and hurt they have gone through and put them through it all over again. That is one of the worst things that you can do as a human being. And narcissists, they will do this to you. Number 6 is they will ignore you. They will ignore the way that you feel. They may even ignore your calls, your texts, and so forth. They will ignore things that are important to you, like your birthday. And even if birthdays aren't important to them and they're important to you, you deserve to be celebrated, girl. Like, he should be celebrating you. He really should be. And if he doesn't, that's a red flag. And I understand most women, they cannot see red flags because we fall in love with the potential of this person more than we do with the person that actually physically exists. We see their potential, and that gets us in so much trouble. And I would say, hey, like, watch out for red flags, but I'm not the girl to give advice on that, just because as a very empathetic person, it's so easy to fall in love with the potential of someone, and it definitely gets you in a lot of trouble. And whenever it comes to seeing red flags, it's a little difficult in the beginning stages of relationships, especially whenever you're dating someone. And sometimes it takes 1 to 2 years to actually begin to see the patterns of the cycle of abuse. So if you feel like every 2 weeks you're going through a cycle, things are good for 2 weeks, and then he does something bad, maybe breaks a promise or whatever, it's just a constant cycle. Maybe the cycles are much longer, but begin to pay attention to how often this stuff is happening. How often is he taking you out on dates and acting like he is the man of your dream and then crushing your soul again? Because anyone who genuinely loves you, they're not going to continue to hurt you over and over and over again. Last but not least is they can be amazing sometimes. These types of people look so good on the outside. They can be the friendliest person. They can give you the shirt off of their back. They're an amazing friend to other people, but whenever it comes to being a partner, they freaking suck. They destroy you over and over and over again. They hurt you even after how many times you tell them that specific thing hurts you. They're completely unfazed. And the reason why they are unfazed is because that part of their brain stopped working at a very young age. So whenever they say things like, I didn't say that, and they absolutely forget, I'm not giving them an excuse, but they probably, 99% of the times, they probably did actually forget, because that part of their brain does not work. And what sucks about these types of people is that 99% of them, they do not change. It's like embedded within them. Regardless of how much we want to change them, we can't change them. And that's what freaking sucks. A quote on social media not too long ago, and it said, the better you treat the person you're with, the worse they will treat you, because they think that no matter what, you're not going to go anywhere and that they can do whatever they want to you, treat you however they want. And I'm like, man, like, that really hits home. And one of the ways to also know that you may be with a narcissist is if you're questioning yourself whether or not you are the narcissist. And if you are questioning yourself whether or not you are the narcissist, my therapist said, Jordan, if you get to that point, you're most likely not a narcissist, because narcissists are not self-aware. So in conclusion, what you can do in order to start healing after this narcissistic abuse is really begin to focus on things that no man, no government, nobody can take away from you. Things like your character, your skill sets, healing, your mindset, knowledge, your body. These are things that no man can freaking take away from you, and it is the best glow up ever. So that is all I have for you ladies on this episode. Click the link in the description below. That way you can join my private community for women that have the same mindset as you do. They have gone through the same exact thing that you have gone through. And sometimes somebody just needs a freaking friend in order to help them thrive after abuse and trauma. I'll see you ladies on the next episode.